85. Channel 85.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to clone myself.
What are you talking about?
Sam,
Little S. Big A, little M.
there are these trees called quaking aspens, and they clone themselves,
Oh,
and they can live up to 1,000,000 years.
that's crazy. Still does not explain this situation.
I figure a quaking Brendanovich might shake off a clone and be able to live 1,000,000,000 years.
That's a theory,
Billion,
isn't it?
billion for Brendanovich.
Obviously. You would totally outlive these quaking aspens.
Yeah, they're not really thinking about what they're doing.
Exactly. You, however, are thinking about it and still doing it, so that's terrifying.
I could set a trend.
Oh, okay, new dance move. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna
The
catch on.
quaking Brendanovich.
The quaking. I'm gonna whip that out tonight when I go out. It's
Yes.
gonna happen. I'll be like, no, everybody's doing it. It's the quaking Brendanovich.
So, the quaking aspens
Yes.
mostly grow in the Rockies. They're the western side of the Americas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're these trees, and you look at them, and it's like a whole grove of the trees.
Yeah.
But a whole grove can be one big giant tree.
Because they're all clones of each other.
They're all clones of each other.
Weird.
So they make little runners, so like one part of it can die, but the other ones can still live.
That's bizarre.
Some of them they think have lived for 1,000,000 years.
That's a really, 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 really long time.
So you would think if they can live for 1,000,000 years, why haven't they taken over the earth?
Yeah, that's true. Especially since they can clone themselves, you'd think there'd just be like a ton of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, why are they only like? There's obviously not. They're not everywhere. We're here.
So, and not only can they clone themselves, they can make seeds too. So they can make babies, even though they can be ancient.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
But still, they haven't taken over.
Yeah.
So it was Dilara Ali. I'm sure I mispronounced that.
You just mispronounced. So
And it
you
was
probably mispronounced her name as well.
possibly. And she published an article in the Public Library of Science.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all online.
Cool. I'll look it up.
Yeah. And in this, she was saying, okay, like, look at the old quaking aspens and, like, look at the young ones, too.
Yeah.
And first of all, she was able to date them or, like, figure out their clonal age because she can look at their genes. And as the clones live longer and longer, they accumulate more somatic mutations.
There's a lot of words in that sentence.
Yeah.
That just happened.
So, like, we can have somatic mutations. Like, when our bodies made our arm, we can have mutations in there. But we're not going to make little seeds out of our arm.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about passing them on.
Okay.
But these trees, they can clone from their roots. So any mutations their roots get, they can give to the next tree.
So all the clones then have those same mutations.
Those get the same
and then
mutations.
those mutations get more mutations, and then they give them to their clones.
And they counted all the mutations
Okay.
to figure out how old the populations were.
All right, that makes sense.
So they looked at that and they could figure out how old the groups were. Then they took the pollen from the trees and they said how viable the pollen from each of these populations is.
Okay.
And unfortunately, unfortunately for the tree, fortunately for us because they haven't taken over, the older the clonal population, the less likely their pollen was to pollinate.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. I didn't know trees could, it's so bizarre.
Yeah. So that means
bizarre.
that even though they're these ancient trees that are making seeds, those lines can die out.
Which is why they haven't taken over.
Which is why they haven't taken over.
Boom, there goes one for the humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
Yes.
the quaking
Except
Brendanovich.
for obviously, except with the exception of the quaking Brendanovich, because if this works, he's definitely taking over.
Oh, yes.
That's all I'm going to say. Definitely going to have to, you're really going to have to stop. That's all I'm going to say. It's just stop.
You fear the Brendanovich world?
I absolutely fear the Brendanovich world. Terrifying. Okay, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the quaking Brendanovich or the quaking aspen and how it clones itself but also reproduces sexually and how it dies out and it hasn't taken over, you should probably leave a comment at scientificstation.com.
I agree.